Project Hope is a crowdfunding page where I'm reaching out to practically everyone I know and asking them to donate so I can get the surgery that will help enhance my life. Hi, I'm Barbara Valencia. I'm 19 years old and I study at Florida International University. I work at CARE Florida and I need your help. I was born in 1998 in Guayaquil, Ecuador. My life in Ecuador was a little hectic. There was abuse involved. But as a child, all of that didn't really matter in the context of things. I really liked going to school. I really liked studying, reading. I really liked art. So I found an outlet through school. I moved to the United States with my family in 2007. I had a really hard time assimilating. I didn't speak English, and I was bullied a lot throughout everything. My parents never spoke English, so I was always translating at parent meetings and everything else ever since. So everyone found that really weird, but to me it's always been the norm. Like I haven't seen it differently ever. It's just what I am.
Happy birthday to you, cha cha cha. Happy birthday to you, cha cha cha. Happy birthday, Barbarita, cha cha cha. Happy birthday to you, cha cha cha. Woo! Dos, tres, cuatro. Go, hurry up! I'm waiting for you to blow it out.
I think the hardest thing is introductions. Usually when people introduce themselves to a normal person, they'll look at you straight in the eyes. I always get the stares like in my scars, and so there's a lot of like weird exchanges when I first meet people. In 2010, I was diagnosed with an AVM. It's called an arteriovenous malformation. I was 11 years old and I was having issues with bleeding from my gums. And there was a specific tooth that was very loose and it was a permanent molar, so it was very weird. Initially they made an x-ray of my face and it was weird since the beginning because this side of my face and the x-ray, it had a shadow. So you couldn't see the bones, but you can see everything perfectly on the other side. So I came in 2 weeks after being on antibiotics. And I had had a seizure the previous week, so everything was getting really weird. But that day, they took the tooth out and immediately I started just bleeding out. And people noticed that with every heartbeat, I bled more and more and more. To the point where everyone rushed, called 911. They tried to gauze where they had taken the tooth out, and I had to just clench my mouth really hard to make the bleeding stop as much as I could. Until the paramedics came, rushed me to the hospital, and it was really frustrating because my parents didn't speak English. We got to the hospital, I couldn't open my mouth because I would keep bleeding and possibly die. And the dentist actually came to the hospital, rushed, and explained what happened. And even then, they didn't believe us. They said, there's no way that you could bleed out that much. So they saw it themselves, and immediately I was in surgery within 5 minutes of that. After surgery, I remember waking up in an MRI machine. It's actually a very terrifying experience. And I spent about 3 hours after surgery there. And after that, when everything settled down, we had doctors come to us and tell us that that was what I had, that I had an AVM, that it was there from conception. So I've had it all my life since birth. And the next step was sort of a big question mark. It's easy for me to fall hopeless. That's the easiest thing to do because I battled that thought every 30 seconds. When people look at me weird, when I talk differently, when I eat in front of people, those normal things that people don't really think about, those are really hard for me. Ever since last year, I climbed this mountain. It's called Chimborazo, and I like to think of it as the closest place to the moon and the sun. And to me, being able to climb that mountain meant a huge metaphorical battle. And I felt like I wasn't sick anymore. I felt like I really had climbed out of it. And to have that experience, it made me feel worthy again. It made me feel like I could love myself enough to face the world. And that's how I've been seeing it since, or trying to see it.